Knowing the truth doesn't always change what we do. We like to believe it does, but clarity doesn't always lead to distance. Sometimes it just makes the choice feel heavier. Let's go back to her.
I wish I could say I ended it right there, but I didn't. I stayed on the phone, and after a while, it almost felt like nothing had changed. We talked about normal things, like the conversation had adjusted itself around the truth. That's when I realized this wasn't about not knowing anymore. It was about whether I cared enough to leave. The next time he called, I answered, then I answered again. Eventually, we met in person. Seeing him made everything real in a way I couldn't ignore anymore because I knew exactly what I was stepping into, and I still didn't stop. I chose to be there knowing everything. I let myself believe that for a few hours it could feel real. But deep down, I knew I was holding on to something that was never mine. The hardest part wasn't him, it was me and the way I justified staying. I told myself it wasn't my responsibility, that he was the one making the choices, but I knew that wasn't the whole truth because I was choosing to. After he left, everything felt quiet in a way that forced me to sit with myself. And that's when it hit me that this wasn't about him anymore. It was about who I was becoming just to feel wanted.
The breaking point isn't finding out the truth, it's what you do after. Because once you know, every choice becomes intentional, and every time you stay is no longer confusion, it's permission. Some connections don't break you when they end, they break you when you realize who you had to become just to stay. And maybe that's the part that matters most. Not how it started, and not even how it ended, but what it showed you about yourself. Because sometimes the people we meet don't come into our lives to stay, they come in to reveal something, a pattern, a wound, or a version of us we haven't fully faced yet. And once you see it, you don't get to unsee it, but you do get to decide what you do with it next. She said she didn't recognize herself anymore, and maybe that's where this really ends. Not with him, not with her, but with the moment she realized she didn't want to be that version of herself again. You don't always leave when something ends. Sometimes you leave when you finally see yourself clearly. Some stories stay with you longer than you expect, and if this was one of them, you're not the only one. This has been After Hours Anonymous Podcast. I'm Luna Hart. Until the next confession, take care of what you choose to hold on to.
After Hours Almost.
When the night winds call your name and the city sleeps in silent haze, we're the whispers in the static frame, guiding thoughts through moonlit mazes. Stay a while until the dawn, find the truth in every hidden song. You're not lost when you're here alone, after hours you still belong.